Linguistic Ethnography. Chapter 7. Research Methods in Linguistics. Liali. Linguistic ethnography is a theoretical and analytical framework. What does this mean? It means that linguistic ethnography has an empirical nature and bottom-up orientation to data. It requires working from evidence towards theory. Linguistic ethnography argues that ethnography can benefit from the analytical frameworks provided by linguistics, while linguistics can benefit from the processes of reflexive sensitivity required in ethnography. Linguistic ethnography conjoins two fields of study, arguing that there is more to be gained in their unison than in their separation. According to this argument, ethnography provides linguistics with a close reading of context, not necessarily represented in some kinds of interactional analysis, such as conversation analysis and systemic functional discourse analysis, while linguistics provides an authoritative analysis of language use, not typically available through participant observation and the taking of field notes. There are two key issues in linguistic ethnography. The first relates to the interdisciplinarity of linguistic ethnography. The second key issue is linguistic ethnography's social constructivist and postmodernist orientation, and the challenge this presents for a methodology traditionally predicated on local and situated action. It is the interdisciplinary nature of linguistic ethnography that allows us to look closely and look locally, while tying observations to broader relations of power and ideology. By combining different approaches, different perspectives can be brought to the same interaction. For example, a linguistic ethnographic approach might analyze a piece of classroom data, using a range of discursive traditions, while keeping the ethnographic context central to its interpretation. There are two ways of how this might happen. One is a systemic functional discourse analysis. This analysis could be used alongside ethnography to provide delicacy at the level of describing speech acts, by focusing on discoursal features such as follow-up moves and question-answer sequences. The other one is the conversation analysis. This could similarly be used with linguistic ethnography, to reveal the subtle shifts and sequences in the social organization of conversation, or talk in interaction. The second key issue is linguistic ethnography's ability to keep up methodologically in a field of study, which has seen radical changes in its conceptualization of its key terminology, such as culture, community, and language. There are also three models of ethnography: past, present, and future. These models are the trouble with culture, the enthusiasm or not for ethnography, and ethnography's responsibility to represent multiple and diverse perspectives or voices. There is also a difficulty of conceptualizing the participant, the community, and the site. We need to adjust our conceptual orientations and methodological priorities to take into account changing human experiences such as migration, diaspora, and the use of new technologies. We must be ready to extend or go beyond ethnography's conventional methods to meet new challenges. There are two main methods in linguistic ethnography. The first one is the traditional methods, and the second one is team ethnography. Traditionally in ethnography, one researcher works alone to collect the data, analyze the results, and write up the findings. Analysis of the data focuses on the identification and interpretation of regular patterns of action and talk that characterize a group of people in a social context. This is achieved through participant observation, field notes, ethnographic and open interviews, and often recordings or transcripts. Collaborative teams are being used to involve different kinds of people in designing the research process and creating final accounts. This collaboration requires the researchers to disclose more about their own views, commitments, and social positions. A further way in which teams of researchers can be used is in the use of analytic vignettes to reveal relationships among researchers and research participants. Concluding remarks. Linguistic ethnography offers a new perspective relevant to researchers working in the social sciences in postmodernity. Linguistic ethnography argues that the combination of linguistics with ethnography, and their different analytical tools, offers a greater set of resources than each field of study could offer on its own.